Hello, welcome back. This is just a very quick video today, just to bring you a little bit of an update on some new features in the Old World calculator. You saw my last video. I launched the calculator a few days ago, but it was a fairly basic calculator and lacked the ability to support certain special rules and things like that. Uh, there's still a lot still to add in, but I released last night version 2.1, which you can find at oldworldcalculator.com now. And I'll just run you very quickly through the new features which have been added. So yeah, if you go to www.oldworldcalculator.com, you'll see a page that looks rather like this. If you've been using the calculator over the last couple of days, the first thing you'll notice is that the layout of the input page has changed just a little bit, particularly for each unit. Everything's now broken down under subheadings just to make it a little bit clearer, and also slightly reordered so that it makes a bit more sense, as you'll see as we go through. A few tiny little things that have changed, but interesting. You'll see we've lost the toggle for mounted models, and the reason we've done that now is because when you go to troop type, if you select a cavalry-based model, that will automatically toggle the mount profile section to appear, so you no longer have a separate toggle switch for that. So for an infantry unit, there's no mount options, there's just the options which are relevant for an infantry unit. But if we select a cavalry unit, we can see now we get options for the mount coming as well. The main additional change after this then is this section here, which the unit weapons section. So you'll see now that we have an option to put some of the main characteristics that you'll often encounter for different weapons in this section. So many weapons confer a strength modifier, which for combat weapons will always be based upon the strength of the model, but modifies the strength of the model by some amount. So we now have the ability to directly put a strength modifier in. Many weapons have got armor piercing, so we have the ability to put AP or armor piercing onto our models. And in some cases, you have models also with armor bane. So armor bane gives you a bonus to your armor piercing characteristic if you roll a 6 to wound. And we can now choose armor bane values here as well. And similarly, if we are a mounted option, we have the same options for the mount. Most of the time, mounts will just be attacking with their hooves or claws, and they're normally just treated as hand weapons, so there wouldn't be any specific modifiers. But some mounts, there are exceptions to that. So you have that option there. We then keep scrolling down. You can also see the section for saves. So we previously had the armor value, but what we have now as well is a section for ward saves and also regeneration. So if the unit has the regeneration X special rule, you can also put a regeneration save in, and the calculator will calculate that properly in terms of combat bonus. So the thing with regeneration is that you can regenerate the wound, so you don't necessarily lose a model, but the wound still counts for combat resolution. So if it's saved with the armor or the ward save, doesn't count. It's a saved wound. Regeneration is not a saved wound. It is a regenerated wound. So you still get the wound for combat res, but you don't lose the model, and that will show up in the graphs as well. Everything else beyond that is more or less as it was before. So if we, pick the other model, we can see, let's put an armor value in or something like that. We can give them a ward save, we'll give them a regeneration save, and we can run the calculator. And we can see in this instance that Unit B is doing quite well. They're quite strong here. These specific things that you'll see previously, the unsaved wounds and models slain, if it was a single wound unit, single wound models, they would have been the same. You'll see now on the graphs that where you're attacking a unit that has regeneration, that's no longer the case. So it's possible that you're going to score more unsaved wounds than you're going to end up actually slaying the models, because they end up regenerating those wounds. So in this case, you can see that the modal outcome is that Unit A will deal 1 unsaved wound to Unit B, but because of their regeneration, most of the time Unit B is going to be successful in regenerating that wound. So the modal outcome for models slain is actually 0 in this case. Whereas if we look at Unit B, we didn't put regeneration on Unit A, so those are the same. And in fact, we didn't put any armor or anything on Unit A, so wounds, unsaved wounds, and models slain are all the same in this case. That's about it. So a few new updates, few new features there, and I think they're quite key. You know, the ability to model ward saves and the ability to model armor piercing and armor bane particularly affect a whole lot of units. So I think it vastly expands the range of units available that you can actually accurately model combats for now. Obviously, lots still to come, lots of special rules which are not yet supported, some of which you can sort of hack and still make work through manipulating things like the model profile. So you know, things like strikes first, strikes last. Although you can't directly input that in the model, you of course can directly manage the initiative level of the models in their profile, so you can still make those rules work. But lots of other rules. So I'm thinking particularly things like warband, things like fighting in an extra rank with models with those kind of weapons. Can't quite model those yet, but as you see, you know we're barely a week after, you know, less than a week after launch. We've already got some new features out there, and I'll continue to be bringing updates. And if there are special rules which you think are really important, do let me know. Do comment, give me some feedback about, you know, what I should be focusing on in terms of expanding this and getting new rules in as quickly as possible. And of course, the last thing is, you know, if you're using the calculator, if you're finding it helpful, do share it, do tell people about it. You know, get the word out there that this tool exists, because I think it could be something that's really valuable to lots of people in the community. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching, and thanks for using the calculator. Hope you enjoy it.